Make some noise for the very funny KennyG! Hey! Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Great to see you. When I first decided to do this, come up here on stage and perform, of course I discussed it with my wife. She was very, very supportive, but with one little caveat. Do not use me and my family for material. So I smiled and said, of course, meanwhile thinking, oh shit, there goes my whole act. So, regretfully, the fact that my wife is 20 years younger than me, I can't talk about that. The fact that my mother-in-law is only 10 years older than me, sorry. And the fact that I went to the same Club Med as my mother-in-law at the same time and might have had a... Let's quit while I'm ahead. So, let me tell you a little bit about me. Last year was a really big year for me. I turned 60 years old. I don't feel 60. I don't think I look 60. Thank you. You know, growing older these days is not the same anymore. You can't grow old gracefully anymore. You have to stay young, active, virile. You know, thankfully we have science and technology to help us. I mean, for example, just last week I bumped into some woman I hadn't seen in a while coming out of the gym, and this skinny little woman now had these gravity-defying boobs, the latest model Joan Rivers face, and I said to her, so tell me, what have you done to, get this way? And she looks me straight in the face and goes, oh, nothing, a new trainer and a gluten-free diet. And right. And sex. Sorry, Miley Cyrus, older people do have sex. Thank you again, Big Pharmaceutical. I mean, actually, did you know that the greatest growth of sexually transmitted diseases is in retirement communities? It's true. It's true. This is a fact. This is a fact. Look it up. Get your phones out. And the reason, and while you might think Grandma and Grandpa are home watching Dancing with the Stars, they're popping Viagra's and cruising all the bars. Keeping that in mind, my mother-in-law just recently moved into a retirement community. Very nice, lots of social activities, lots of elderly widowed men there, very available. And my wife and I, we were just a little concerned, so we sat down and we said, we have to have the talk. Now, the talk with a 70-year-old woman is much different than the talk you'd have with a 14-year-old who's been internet trained. But nevertheless, we had to do it. So we sat down with her very carefully and we discussed safe sex, STDs, protection, along with teabagging, anal, facial, group sex, double penetration. This woman's ready for anything. Thank you. Secondly, younger women, older men, younger women. And nobody bats an eye anymore. I mean, nobody really bats an eye. Cougars, pumas, cubs, bobcats. You walk into an Upper East Side bar and you think you're on a freaking safari. It's true. In fact, 20 years ago, when I used to walk into a bar, people thought I was there to pick up my daughter. 20 years later, they think I'm there to pick up your daughter. So, last week, we were about to go out, my wife and I. We have one of our middle-of-the-week date nights. Those things where you plan it, kind of pump up the marriage, you make the plans, you're going to go out to a nice restaurant. Me, with my big mouth, I said a couple of comments, and date night immediately morphed into hate night. So we separated, we were in separate rooms, and I said, you know something? Screw this, I'm getting a mistress. So this is it. Why not? Why not? I need something on the side. So I took out my iPad, sat down on the couch, I held that button down twice, and I said, Siri, find me a mistress. And within like 10 seconds, there it was, sugardaddy.com. I said, oh yeah, this is great, this is great. I'm scrolling and I'm looking through the site, expanding it, reading about a thing. But wait a second, there's a little catch to all of this. The catch is, 20 years ago when I was younger, all I needed was a few open buttons on my shirt, a good rap, nice apartment in the city, and I was in. Now, in order to get laid, I have to pay her rent, take her shopping, and buy her Stuart Weitzman shoes. Jackie. Listen, that's about it for me tonight. I wanted to, first of all, my beautiful wife Alyssa couldn't be here tonight. I'd like to give a shout out to her. She's here in my heart. And everybody who came here from all different phases of my life, thank you very, very much. I'd like to leave you with just one last thought. While you're only young once, you can stay immature forever. Thank you and good night.
KennyG! All right. Very good. Very nice.